कृष्णवर्णं तिशाकृष्णं साङ्गोपाङ्गास्त्रपार्षदं यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्रायैर्यजन्ति सुमेधसः अन्तः कृष्णं बहिर्गौरं दर्शिताङ्गादिवैभवम् कलौ सङ्कीर्तनाद्यै स्मः कृष्णचैतन्यमाश्रिताः जयतां मथुरा भूमौ श्रीलरूपसनातनौ यौ विलेकयतस्तत्त्वं ज्ञापकौ पुस्तिकामिमाम् कोऽपि तद्बान्धवो भट्टो दक्षिणद्विजवंशजः विविच्य वेलिकद्ग्रन्थं लिखिताद्वृद्धवैष्णवैः तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेकं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितं पर्यालोच्याथ पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जीवकः यः श्रीकृष्णपादाम्भोजा भजनैकाभिलाषवान् तेनैव दृश्यतामेतद् अन्यस्मै शपथोऽर्पितः श्रीमद्भागवतं श्रीमन्मन्त्रदेशिकमीश्वरम् श्रीमद्भागवतार्थानां सन्दर्भं कर्तुमाश्रये अथ नत्वा मन्त्रगुरून् गुरून् भागवतार्थदान् श्रीभागवत सन्दर्भं वश्मि लेखितुम् यस्य ब्रह्मेति संज्ञां क्वचिदपि निगमे याति चिन्मात्रसत्ता प्यंसो यस्यांशकैस्वैर्विभवति वशयन्नेव मायां पुमांश्च एकं यस्यैव रूपं विलसति परमव्योम्नि नारायणाख्यं स श्रीकृष्णो विधत्तां स्वयमिह भगवान् प्रेम तत्पादभाजाम्। हरे कृष्णा। यह श्रीकृष्ण पादाम्भोज भजनैकाभिलाषवान् तेनैव दृश्यतामेतत् अन्यस्मै शपथोऽर्पितः। What is the meaning of this? Who is adhikari for the Sandarbhas? So whoever is interested in doing in the bhajan, in the lotus feet of the Krishna, they only has to read this book. Anyasmai shapadorpitaha. For others he is cursing. So that's why, so we are clearly mentioned, we are all clearly suggested by the Jiva Goswami. So one who is interested in the devotion towards the Krishna, they only has to read this. If you have no interest, so they should not read this. For them, if they read forcefully, then they will get the curse of the Jiva Goswami, because that means just he is saying that don't read, and after that don't offend the Vaishnavas. So if you read, then definitely without the desire of doing the devotion towards the Krishna, if you read, you will definitely commit the offense, and that will really destroy your bhakti. You will never get any taste in the bhakti, and you will be away and away from the Krishna prema. So that's why whoever is interested in the devotion, they only. So that's why in the Tattva Sandarbha, for course registration also, we clearly kept whoever is interested in devotion, doing the 4 rounds of chanting and strictly following the 4 regulative principles, they only has to attend this course. If you have any other ideology, if you want to attend this course for the defeating of any philosophy, or if you want to debate, and it's strictly restricted here, we don't want such a kind of discussions here. We want only whoever wants to strictly follow the Srila Jiva Goswami and the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, those only we want. We already kept that criteria clearly in our the brochure. So when we register, so the minimum eligibility is 4 rounds of chanting. So whoever is desired to do the devotion. And I sincerely say to all the devotees, you try to understand the what is said here, and don't prove yourself is better than the any acharya. And I am not at all supporting in that. And if you have any such ideology, just better to keep quiet and don't participate in any discussion. And it's not at all, we are not at all encouraging any debate here. No, no debate. Try to understand what is said. If you are not able to get that, then ask 2 times. But don't impose your ideas against the Acharya's ideas. No, that's a serious offense. Who are we? We are the limited jiva. We are nothing. And Jiva Goswami wrote the Sandarbhas. Jiva Goswami wrote the great literature. He is the greatest scholar. And if see his the work, so see the work and then identify the Acharya's greatness. See the Baldev Vidyabhushan, how much he is a scholar. And do you against, I mean, do you think better than him? So what is our humble position? We should try to understand what they said. That is the humble position of the devotee. You should not try to against, don't go to against that. That is the already the jiva's rebellistic nature. And already so many acharyas clear. Srila Prabhupada, that means Nirvishesha Sunyavadi, Paschatya Desatarine. Nirvishesha Sunyavadi, Paschatya Desatarine. He is completely against that. He preached against the Nirvisheshavadis. So Nirvishesha philosophy is not our philosophy. It's a clearly it is not our philosophy. We are Vaishnavas and they don't, actually they are envious about the Lord. They don't want to accept the Lord's glories and they don't want to accept the Lord's form. So such, and you should not at all hear from them. And you should not hear their discussions also. And that's why Srila Jiva Goswami, he doesn't want to propose the opposition party's explanation. So he didn't explain here. So, but only the little places somewhere. So he just giving the little, just some glimpse actually. The Advaitis, they are thinking like this, Jiva Ishvara Beda. And this is not correct. And clearly it is, he is rejecting their ideology. And you are not going against that. And you cannot prove anything. Who are you to prove? What is the eligibility you have? Are you greater than the Jiva Goswami? Just humbly, if you want to hear, hear. Otherwise, don't attend class. So tell me what you understood in the last class. Any points?
So yesterday, um, this Mayavadi, they speak that Jiva and Ishvara is one. So Jiva Goswami proved it is not one, but it is different. So Mayavadi told that Ekam Evam Adityam Vijnanam Anandam Brahma Na Eha Nasati Kanchan Nirvishesha Chinta Sinmatra Advaitam Brahma.
Yes.
So, but Jiva Goswami, it proved that this is not correct. In this way, yesterday we discussed something. Jiva
Yes.
Ispara, the difference between the Jiva and Ispara.
Yes. So Vyasdev's Samadhi realization and Shankaracharya's opinion. You have to say the points for each group. So first of all, Vyasdev in his Samadhi, so what he saw? He saw
Ishvara.
the, he saw Bhagavan. What he saw? First point, Bhagavan. That is Purnam Purushaha. Purna Purushaha. So Bhagavan means what? Definitely he is having the what? Swarupa Shakti. So Bhagavan is the Purna Purushaha. He is having the Swarupa Shakti. So what is his opinion? That means according to him, that means is there any Shakti in the absolute truth? According to him, no. What is that? According to him, what is absolute truth? Nirvisesha, Nirvisesha, Chinmatra Satta. So according to him, how many chits are there? How many types? Two types of chit are there. Chit Padartha. That means these two types of chit padarthas are there before the liberation and also after the liberation. These two are the permanent actually. Yes, but according to him, only one. And next point, one is the okay here. One is the controller of Maya, another is controlled by Maya. Next, any difference? Yeah. So what else in these points? You remember and tell. What is a jiva? According to the Vasudev's realization, what is known as jiva? What is jiva? Tell me. Jiva is also Chetana Padardham, Chetana Padartha, or the Chit Padartha. But what is the problem? But it is, but it is influenced by Maya and thinking itself as, that means constitutionally it is Chit Padartha, but it is thinking itself as matter. That's why it is what? Therefore it is what? Gnanashali, Gnanavan, or otherwise. But in the case of Shankaracharya philosophy, what is that? Is avidya, avidya, avidyavachinna chaitanyam. And this chaitanyam, is it separate from the this Nirvishesha Brahma? This chaitanyam? No. But in this Vasudev's realization, this Chaitana and this Bhagavan Chaitanya is same? No, different. But here they say the same. Next. What is Ishvara? What is Ishvara? That is huh? Ishvara here is the controller of the Maya. He is Chit Padartha. First of all, you should say he is also Chetana Padartha. And he is having the Shakti also. Yes. And according to the Shankaracharya opinion, so this Nirvishesh Chinmatra Satta, is it having any Shakti? No Shakti. No Shakti. So here, this Ishvara is nothing but the Bhagavan is the Chetana Padartha. And he is eternal. Yes or no? Eternal and eternal enjoyer actually. Because he is having the Anubhavananda Sandoha Kaivalye Stita Atmani. So what we learn from him? So Mayam Vedasya Chitsaktya Kaivalye Stita Atmani. We learn that this Ishvara is having the Sarupa Sakti and he is enjoying that. So that Sarupa Sakti, which is nothing but the bliss, and he is an enjoyer. Eternally, he is eternal enjoyer of Swarupa Shakti. What is their definition of Ishvara? Vidyavachinna Chaitanyam. This Chaitanyam is and this Chaitanyam is same or not? According to them, same. They don't accept any other Chaitanya. Yes, that's the same. Vidyavachinna Chaitanyam is Ishvara. So, is he eternal according to them? No. Even Ishvara also will get the mukti. Their philosophy. But Ishvara, what Ishvara is? How the Bhagavan, how the Vasudev is seeing about the Ishvara? He is seeing as a controller and he is eternally enjoyer. Purnam Purushaha. He is seeing as Kantimantam Purusham, that he is enjoying the Swarupa Shakti. So, but how these people are envious? This is enviousness. They are envious about the Supreme Lord. They don't want to accept the Lord's form. So much cruelty it is. Jivatma, from the time immemorial, from the beginningless, so much aversion towards him and developed such enviousness, and that's why they don't want to accept. They are offenders. So Vidyavachana Chaitanya is Isvara, and this position is eternal? No. It's not eternal. So that means this Vidya, Avidya, both are the vrittis of the Ajnana, and those both will be finished, then nothing will be there. That means Ishvara is also finished. What is this? See. So that means Vasudev saw like that in the Samadhi? Did he see like that? That means everything is finished and only Brahman is alone is standing, who is not having any Shakti and no enjoyment, nothing. And Ishvara is destroyed. Vishnu is finished. What else? Tell me about the after liberation. What will happen in this? After liberation, so what will be there? There is a loving relationship between the Jiva and Ishvara. What is this? What will happen after liberation? No Jiva, no Ishvara, only that Nirgun Nirvisheshan Matrasat. There is no loving relation. There is no love at all. Nothing. No Jiva, no Ishvara, no relationship between them. But only Chinmatra Satta. Tell me, what else? I am only telling. You are all not telling. Jay Gopinath Prabhu, tell.
Vyasadeva saw Maya Shakti also, which is Vilajyamana, shy,
Yes, that
but they don't
they don't
not you don't
they
see any
don't have
Shakti.
any eternal position for the Maya. Good. So we'll remove this. Sixth point. Vasudev saw. How he saw?
Standing fall.
Maya as eternal entity. But according to them, there is no eternal existence. For next. There is no proper explanation for here. Maya is energy of Supreme Lord Krishna. Tell what else? Based upon Abhidheya, you tell. Based upon the ah yeah, yes. Yeah. So bhakti, which is the Shakti of Swarupa Shakti, which is the function of Swarupa Shakti. Shakti removes Maya on Jiva. What is this here? How the influence of Ajnana is destroyed by the Gnana. ठीक है. Next. What else? That already we discussed. Okay. Today we are going to see the even more differences. This is till now our discussion. So then we are going to see the inappropriateness of the Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada to explain the classification between the Jiva and Ishvara. So to define the difference between the Jiva and the Ishvara, Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada was given by the Advaitins. So that is, now we are going to see that inappropriateness in that. So Jiva Goswami is explaining that. What we are going to see? Who is going to say what I told now? Tell. Bhavgrahi Prabhu. You didn't hear. Yes, tell.
You said, Prabhuji, Mayavadi and Advaitavadi, he says about Jiva and lot difference is that they give example, terminology, Pratibimbavad
Yes.
and Pratichinavad.
Yes.
So how Jiva Goswami refuted this will
Yes.
explain
Yes.
here today.
First, see, open your text. न च उपादितारतम्यमय परिच्छेद प्रतिबिम्बत्वादि व्यवस्थया तयोः विभागः स्यात्. तयोः विभागः न स्यात्. The division of Jiva and Ishvara is not possible by the Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada, where we use the upadis with different distinctions. Yes, I will be very detailedly explained now. Parichedavada and what I am saying? What is this meaning? But it's clear? Removing. Ishvara and Jiva. They are the two categories. Yes, Vasdev Sana, there are the two different Chetana Padarthas. They are very much different. So Vasudev saw, whatever is Vasudev is seeing, that is fact. There is two different Chetanas are there. One is controlled and another is the controlled by the Maya. But Jiva Goswami is saying now, you cannot make this division, Ishvara and Jiva, by using what? By the Pratibimbavada and Parichedavada. Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada. है और ये भी गया हो गया. These two vadas, what they use the upadis. These two vadas are based upon the upadis. Upadi taratamyam. Upadi taratamyam. What is the taratamyam? Means hierarchy. Hierarchy. The hierarchy of the upadi, through that, so Pratibimbavada, Prachedavada and Pratibimbavada cannot define this Ishvara Jiva Bheda. Pratibimbavada and Parichedavada cannot define the Ishvara Jiva Bheda. In this Parichedavada, what is involved? The hierarchy of the Upadi is involved. It's not possible. It's not possible. Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada they cannot explain. How that is coming in the next line. So first of all, we'll be seeing little more explanation on this statement by the Baldev Vidyabhushan. Okay? So Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying like this: Yattu Indro Maya Bihi Pururupa Iyate Ityadi Srutehe Tasya Advitiyasya Brahmanah Mayaya Parichedadishvara Jiva Vibhagah Syat Tatra Vidyaya Parichinno Mahan Khandaha Ishvaraha Avidyaya Parichinnaha Kaniyan Kandastu Jivaha Yatha Ghatena Avachinnaha Sharavena Avachinna Akasha Khandaha Mahadalpa Vyapadesham Bhajati. So, first of all, you all having the doubt, what is this Parichedavada? And what is this Pratibimbavada? This you should know now first. Then only you will understand how these two are not fitting to, so define the Jiva Ishvara Veda. Yes? So this we are going to now see. What is the Parichedavada? So Parichedavada means, according to the Advaita philosophy, so Parichedavada is what? So there is only one truth, that is Nirguna Nirvishesh Chanmatra Satta. There is no energy, nothing that is there. Nirguna Nirvishesh Chanmatra Satta. Then this is Brahman. This is Brahma. What will happen to this? To this? Tatra vidyaya parichinnaha. In this Brahman, vidyaya parichinnaha. Vidyaya parichinnaha. Parichinnaha means khandaha, bifurcation. So the tukda, this vidyaya parichinnaha Brahma is what? Ishvaraha. Next, what is that? Another jivaha means what? Avidyaya parichinnaha kaniyan khandastu. This is avidya. So the small portion or kaniyan, the insignificant portion, so of the Brahman, which is covered by the avidya. So that is known as jivaha. Okay. Example they give. So what is the example they give? They give the Ghatakasha. Ghatena avachinnaha akashaha. Like akasha is there everywhere. Okay. Now you have the here Ghata. This is Ghata. And this Ghata is covering some akasha. Yes, inside akasha is there or not? Everywhere is akasha. Now if you keep a pot here, so it is also it is covering some akasha. So, so this is Ishvaraha. Like that. And also there is a small glass. This is. It is also covering the some akasha or not? Yes? So this is the Sharavena avachinnaha akasha. So this is like Ishvaraha and this is like Jivaha. Mahad alpada vyapadesham bhavati. Vyapadesham bhajati. Okay. This is the Parichinnavadaha. In the Parichinnavadaha, how the Ishvara and the Jiva is attained is like this. Now, what is the Pratibimbavada? In the Pratibimbavada, what happens? In the Pratibimbavada, Vidyayam Pratibimba Ishvaraha Avidyayam Pratibimbastu Jivaha Yatha Sarasiravehe Pratibimbaha Yatha Gate Pratibimbaha Mahadalpavyapadesham Bhajate Tadvat. Now Pratibimbavada, we'll see how to get the Ishvara and Jiva through the Pratibimbavada. In the Pratibimbavada, there also, so Brahman is there. Okay. And Brahman reflecting on the Vidya. It is Vidya and it is reflecting. This is known as, this is Brahman reflects on Vidya, is known as Ishvaraha. And Brahman reflecting on Avidya is Jiva. Example is sun. This is sun. Sun is reflecting on the big pond. It is known as, it is example for the Ishvara, and sun is reflecting on the water which is in the small pot. It is Jiva. Okay. So like this, there are the Prachedavada and Pratibimbavada, basic. It is very basic explanation. So is like this. Because what we are going to prove, we are going to discuss actually Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada are not appropriate to define the Ishvara and Jiva Bheda. They are not appropriate. That we are going to do. Okay. तदिदं निरसनाय दर्शयति न च इति अनया रीत्या तयोः विभागः. That means this kind of Ishvara Jiva in Parichedavada or this kind of Ishvara Jiva in the Pratibimbavada is not appropriate. Is not appropriate actually. It is not feasible actually. It cannot exist, or it is not feasible. This process is not feasible. This process is not feasible. Why? How? How this process of Paricheda and Pratibimba is not feasible? How? How those are not feasible? Tell me. Now Jiva Goswami is going to tell. This text is little bit slowly will go, okay? You should not get the khichdi actually. Not getting is better than the getting khichdi. So that's why if you get khichdi and after that you will spreading that khichdi, it will be dangerous actually. Huh? Otherwise maybe we'll give the one more or two more classes, no problem. This process you are understanding, any doubt in this? Clear na actually? If you are not able to understand what is explained in the board, you can ask. Okay? You can ask that. Good. Rangmai Prabhu, you may be telling there is some different philosophy. So in that Prabhuji taught Bangladesh completely, you can so spread the new philosophy. What you are understanding? What do you want to understand? Pratibimbavad, na? In the Pratibimbavad, so there also Brahman is there. So there are the different pakshas actually, Advaita philosophy. So these followers of the Advaita philosophy, some people they accept Parichedavad, or some people they accept the Pratibimbavad, and some people they accept Abhasavad. In this also, so many varieties, Eka Jivavad, and so many, in that also sub branches and branches and branches. There are more than 100. So opinions are there. So in the Advaita philosophy itself, there are so many, one negate the another actually, like that also is there. So just primary thing is, primary philosophies are in the Advaita philosophy, that is the Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada. So those we are going to discuss. Na? So Parichedavada you understood, and Pratibimbavada means, so what is according to Pratibimbavada, how the Jiva and Ishvara are formed? So there is a Brahman, Nirvishesh Nirguna Chinmatra Satta, Brahman is there, and it is reflecting on the Vidya. Yes. So then that is known as Ishvara. And this Nirgun Nirvishesh Chinmatra Satta is reflecting on the Avidya, and that is known as Jiva.
Vidya and Brahman, then it becomes two entities, right? Vidya and Brahman.
Uh,
it becomes two entities, right?
uh.
But there is only one, right, Brahman?
Vidya and the Brahman, there are two entities, there is only one. So there are the lot of the questions are raised by the Vaishnavas. So after that, Vaishnavacharyas, Madhvacharya came. First of all, so after Shankaracharya defined this philosophy, so purposefully he defined. So because to attract the jivas who are very much envious about the Supreme Lord, and who doesn't want to accept the form of the Lord, who doesn't want to accept the position of the supremacy of the Ishvara, Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna's supremacy. So such a cunning and such a so kutarka and such a jivas he wants to attract and send them to the hell. So for that purpose he defined, Shankaracharya defined this philosophy. And so it will be attracting those people only. Like to catch some dogs in the village, what will be doing? We'll be putting some traps actually. So like this is a trap philosophy actually. So who is saying this? Other previous all other acharyas they said after that. So Ramanujacharya then he came and then he said. So what are these? So many. That means in this philosophy drawbacks are there. So that he came because after that Vaishnavas should not get attracted by this philosophy, this Advaita philosophy. That's why so Ramanuja came and he so defined that means the Vaishnava philosophy, and he said where are these, that means what should not accept in this, and he defeated this philosophy, Advaita philosophy. And after that once again Madhvacharya came, he also defeated so this Advaita philosophy. And then so many other acharyas, Nimbarka, Vallabha, so Vallabhacharya also came, and after that our Vaishnava acharyas. So Srila Jiva Goswami also you'll be seeing in some place. Not directly statement by statement he didn't defeat, but you can see his lines actually. So nobody is accepting this philosophy. No Vaishnava Acharya is accepting the Advaita philosophy. No, this is not our philosophy actually. Okay, not our philosophy means our philosophy is the Vedavyas philosophy. Whatever Vedavyas realized in the Samadhi, that is our philosophy. So that is our philosophy, and that is accepted by all the Vaishnava Acharyas. Okay. Hmm.
Prabhu, one more question actually.
So now how to so how those are not feasible? Love that we have to see. Okay, what you are asking?
Prabhuji, in beginning, even though Vaishnava and Mayavadi, Adaitvadi both accept like Shruti, just like Eko Brahma, Dutiyo Nasti, an explanation study you gave. So it was both were accepting, but where was difference like that? How Shruti is like that accepted by just like Vaishnavas, and just like we accept ki quality in oneness like that, only one supreme. But how they can give like that opposing matlab, views like that Advaitvadi, and how can they give like that once it took birth?
So if there is a one dog is there, and if I am saying forcefully it is a cat, and someone are following and cat and calling, then what we should say?
So where they were
It is
one
dog,
opinion,
but he is saying it is cat only,
it,
and others also saying it's cat only. Then what we should say?
in beginning it was same like opinion, just like one road is source is there and road is coming, road again someone's like that in due course of time, just some deviation happens like that. We say like that Vaishnava also accept oneness, we are, but there is a quality, there's a difference in qualities like that. But Mayavadi, they completely like that, they say oneness. So how
Mayavadi means they are offenders actually.
Advaitvadi, sorry, we can say Brahmavadi.
Brahmavadi, why you are mixing? Brahmavadi, Mayavadi, Advaitavadi. They are all different.
Here is who Sankaracharya's explanation. I'm telling my point is
You are asking this question based upon which Vadis?
Sankaracharya. What we are discussion is going on now.
Advaitavadi or the Brahmavadi? You tell me.
And this Advaitavadi.
Advaitavadi, na?
Yes.
So Advaitavadi, just I told. There is object, dog is there, and now you are saying, I said this is a cat. And I asked others also to follow cat. Then what should you do? That is own philosophy then. Yeah. So actually you take the same Shruti statement and you give your own meanings. You are not at all following their original meaning, Mukhya Artha, Mukhya Vritti you are not following, and you define their meaning yourself, and you are saying this is the meaning of this Shruti, and you all follow. And what should we do? And that object is a dog and you are saying it is a cat, and you said that everyone to follow, and someone is following, then what we should do? Mukhya Vritti should take. Then why the Shruti is there? Main meaning you are not taking, you are leaving the main meaning and you are always saying that. So here this is not the right meaning here. Here the main meaning is not correct. You have to take only secondary meaning. You have to take secondary meaning only. Everywhere you are saying like that. Then whole text you, then for the namesake you are saying I am following the text. But what you are doing? You are interpreting your own way. What is the logic behind this? Nothing.
So can you please tell what is the main meaning it was and where they took like that second meaning? Which
Main
point?
meaning and second
Which-
meaning.
which
I
point?
gave example, that's Gangayam Goshaha. Example is Gangayam Goshaha. That means house in Ganges. So there the Ganges. So word Ganges is there. So what is the main meaning? Main meaning is water flow. Instead of they taking that, so there some impossibility is there. There is no possibility of having house in the water flow. So that's why Ganges means you will not take their Ganges, but what you will take? You will take the bank of the river. That is the taking the secondary meaning. Okay. So now, so how those are not feasible? These Parichedavada and the Pratibimbavada, which are the main philosophies. So you understood Rangamai Prabhu? What is the Pratibimbavada? तत्र यदि उपादेः अनाविद्यकत्वेन वास्तवत्वं तर्हि अविषयस्य तस्य परिच्छेद विषयत्वा संभवः निर्धर्मकस्य व्यापकस्य निरवयवस्य च प्रतिबिम्बत्वायोगः अपि उपाधि संबंधाभावात् बिंब प्रतिबिंब भेदाभावात् दृश्यत्वाभावाच्च उपाधि परिच्छिन्नाकाशस्तज्ज्योतिरंशस्यैव प्रतिबिंबो दृश्यते न तु आकाशस्य दृश्यत्वाभावात् एव. So what is the meaning? You are all having the file, that in that file you are seeing तत्र यदि उपादेः अनाविद्यकत्वेन वास्तवत्वम्. So now we are going to see the Parichedavada first. So in the Parichedavada Pratibimbavada, what? This is Vidya Upadhi. So Brahman is reflecting on Vidya Upadhi and Brahman is reflecting on the Avidya Upadhi. So here Upadhis are different, and that's why Ishvara and Jiva are different. That is their philosophy. Yes? How they are bringing the difference between the Ishvara and Jiva? Based upon the difference in the Upadhis, there is a difference between the Ishvara and Jiva. But finally these Upadhis are removed. Then what will happen? There will be no Jiva, no Ishvara, only will be the Brahman. That is their philosophy. Now, what we are saying, Parichinnavadaha or Parichedavadaha, Parichinnavadaha, that we will see. In the Parichinnavadaha, what happens? What is this? So this is all pervasive. Brahman means Vibhuna, all pervasive. And in the Parichinnavada, what will happen? There is a Upadhi. What is this? This is the what kind? This is Upadhi of what? Vidya. Vidya Upadhi. And this is what? Avidya Upadhi. Two Upadhis are there, and they are covering the portion of Brahman. And that's why, since upadhi are different, that's why this is different and this is different. So this is known as Ishvara, this is known as Jiva. So now Jiva Goswami is asking, these upadhis, what? What is this upadhi? You are saying all the time upadhi, upadhi, upadhi. What is this upadhi? This upadhi is real or not? Or not real? Upadhi can be. So we are asking to them whether it is real or not real. Okay? First, if you take, I will take it is real. Okay? Now first what we are going to take? Upadhi is real. Upadhi is real like Brahman. Brahman is real like the Upadhi also real I will take. Then what will happen? If Upadhi is real, यदि उपादेः अनाविद्यकत्वेन वास्तवत्वं, so this upadhi is real now, we are taking. Then what will happen if it is real? Then what, according, if this real upadhi has to bring the Ishvara, then what it should do? What it should do? It should, like you see in the Parichannavada, what we do? There is a sky is there and there is a ghata and there is a one glass. So both are covering the sky or not? Like that means sky has to be separated from the other sky. This is a pot and pot is covering the some sky and it is so from the other sky. Yes. Similarly here, this total is Brahman and this real upadhi now has to do what? Has to so cover or has to separate the Brahman total, this Brahman from the this Brahman. Yes or no? So this upadhi is real. That means what? What it has to do now? It has to cut, bifurcate. It has to bifurcate. समझ रहे हैं? Since vidya is, since upadhi is real, you are taking upadhi as real. So that's why it has to, so to separate to bring up the Ishvara and Jiva, it has to bifurcate the Brahman. So if it is bifurcating, then what will happen? Brahman is cut. So is it possible? Is it possible to cut the Brahman? Bifurcate the Brahman? Is it possible? No. That means what? Like you see, if you parichinna, there is a big stone is there. Now if you want to bring up this total stone, and now by the, what is that? Chisel. See, huh? Chisel. So you'll take the chisel and then you'll bring up the some portion, khanda. Yes. So then that you will call it as something, and you can also bring out one small portion and you can call it as one as big as Ishvara and small as Jiva. So now, so how to, now this upadhi is real, since you are accepting upadhi is real. So now you also have to so bifurcate this Brahman and then only you can say it is Ishvara. Since upadhi is real, it has to bifurcate. So, but bringing, that means dividing the Brahman is not possible. Is it possible? No. So that means if you consider upadhi as real, upadhi can be either real or not real. And if you take upadhi as real, so Parichinnavadaha, is it possible? Parichinnavada is possible or not? Not possible. Okay? That only he is saying. Tatra yedi upadehe. See the word by word. Yedi. Suppose. Upadehe. Upadi. Anavidyakatvena vastavatvam. That means upadi is the vastava. Tarhi. Then avishayasya. Avishayasya is, who is avishaya? Brahman. Brahman is not subjected to anything actually. Avishayasya tasya paricheda vishayatva sambhavaha. So Brahman is being, so is not subject, Brahman is not subject to anything actually. So that's why you cannot, that means do the parichedaha, because since upadhi is real, now to have the Ishvara, definitely you have to cut this Brahman, but Brahman is not like that. So that's why parichedavadaha is not possible if you take upadhi is real. Next, nirdharma. Nirdharmakasya. Now next we will be seeing the Pratibimbavadaha. If upadhi is real, then we will take the, what will happen to the Pratibimbavada? Taking upadhi as real and going for the Pratibimbavada. So according to their definition, so Nirguna Nirvishesh Chinmatra Satta Brahman is not at all having the any dharma, no dharmas. And also it is not having the any avayavas, no limbs in this, no parts. And also it is vibhu. Vibhu means it is sarvavyapi. Okay. So now being these properties, having these properties, this kind of not having, so since Brahman is like this, what? Brahman is not having any dharma, first one, and Brahman is all parvesu. Third one is Brahman is not having any limbs. So if Brahman is like that, then how it is possible to have the pratibimba of this? So see, Bhaiya, so Brahman is not having any dharma. So then is it possible to have any reflection? If he is not having any dharma, is it possible to have any reflection of that? Not possible. So since it is the nirdharmakaha, so there is no possibility of the, so sambandha with the upadhi to this. This cannot have any sambandha. So see these objects. So all these objects and they are reflecting on the mirror because there is some sambandha is there. For example, if you take this marker and if you take a mirror, so on this mirror, so this marker is reflected. Why? There is a connection between this mirror and this, because it's a transparent mirror and it is having the ability, and now it is emanating the some light, some sunlight is falling on this and it is emanating that light and it is falling on the mirror, and that's why we are getting the reflection. So when there is a connection actually between the bimba and the mirror, then only you will be having the pratibimba of this. Understand? And now this object bimba is not at all having any dharma. How can it have any connection with any upadhi? It is not at all having any upadhi. You are understanding or you are putting questions? Trying to understand what you want, why you want to ask? Understanding?
This Brahman, we say, this, we accept Brahman. And Brahman is also effulgence, we say, no? I want to confirm with, clarify. Effulgence means light. Brahman means light, na? They accept none.
So they don't accept the prakashatvam, no.
Okay.
Even they don't say there is a guna of the prakashatvam in that.
They don't accept effulgence?
No, effulgence means they don't accept the guna. That means now prakasha is there, in that prakashatvam is there, that they don't accept. That dharma is not there. It's a nirdharmaha. And they say it is a gnanam. That means satyam, gnanam, anantam, brahma. They say gnanam. Is there any gnanatvam in that? No gnanatvam. And satyam, you say satyatvam is there? No satyatvam. What is this? This is that only. Simple. That means since it is not at all having any dharma, according to their definition, so that means it cannot have any sambandha with the any object, which is not at all having any dharma. How it can have object, any connection with any object? No connection. So that's why you are all getting or not. So that's why there is no possibility of the reflection of that kind of bimba. This is bimba, and reflection is known as pratibimba. Next, whatever, and one more thing is what? Nirdharmakasya. Next, second point is vyapakasya. Since it is Brahman is all pervasive, everywhere Brahman is there, then how to find the place? If you want to have the reflection, at least there is some separation between the bimba and the upadi, the place where it is reflecting. If this is everywhere, then how to get the reflection? You tell me. Huh? Is it possible? Not possible. So since it is an all pervasive, we cannot have the bimba and pratibimba difference. Everywhere bimba is there. Next, third point is it is not having the any avayavas. So since it is not having any avayavas, so that's why drishyatvam is not there. Huh? So whichever is not having any drishyatvam, then how it can be having the reflection? Huh? Drishyatvam means visibility. It is invisible, then how can you have any reflection? Niravayavasya, that means there are no parts, then how can it is not visible? So that's why upadi parichinna akashasya jyotiramshasyeva pratibimbaha drishyate natu akashasya drishyatva bhavat. So that's the example. Now you are seeing the reflection of the sky on the water. Sometimes they give. So reflection of the sky means now it is a sky. This is a sky. So sky is reflecting means, so sky is reflecting, are these some objects which are illuminating in that sky, those are reflecting. This is a water. You take this is a pot. So the objects which are illuminated or which are bright, the bright objects in the sky, they are reflecting actually, not the sky, which is not at all visible. Then that kind of padartha is not at all having any reflection. So similarly, Brahman is not having any avayavas, then how it is not visible, then how it can be having any reflection? Understood? So that's why if upadi, if you take as a real, parichinnavadaha and pratibimbavadaha both are not existing, actually not possible to have the Ishvara and Jiva. Okay. Tomorrow I will ask this.
What is their answer when we answer to the Jiva Goswamis?
No, Jiva Goswami's argument still it is having long actually. Still one more.
But they are able to answer Jiva Goswami's question or not? Now stop. They are speechless. Then become, what is this? What happens?
If someone is ready to say dog as cat, then what you will say? If someone is giving his own meanings for the text also, then what you will say?
But our talk is that only
if someone is soberly speaking, then you can discuss. Understand? If every day you have a new branch of the philosophy in your, you have more than 100 or 200 philosophies in yourself, and every day is for any objection is right, then you will be going for the define new philosophy. Then what should we say? Is there any use of that? Let's chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, don't waste your time on the and the defeating on these things, and just holy name is the highest actually. And chant Hare Krishna and get the solution and go back
So
to the
this
home.
explanation of Jiva Goswami only for Vaishnava.
Only for the
Vaishnava,
Vaishnava,
for
only
to be
for,
protected.
yeah,
They should not affected. This is like a fence, we can say.
yeah.
And not to make them devotee or convince them, not like that. Because
It's
they
not for any debate purpose or nothing. Just for our internal talk it is. In-house talk this is. Hare Krishna. It is unreal. Yes, tomorrow we'll discuss.